the Nifty Show.
Ground control to Major Travis, Apostle of Humility.
Take your protein pills and put your helmet on.
Welcome to the Nifty Show, where helmets are required today because we have an NFT project that is a mashup of space exploration and special people. What kind of special people? You're about to find out as we.
Are you wearing a hair helmet?
a hairmet. It's a hairmet. It's real. Violetta, the community manager for Pionauts.com, Pionauts.com. Violetta, welcome to the Nifty Show.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Where's your helmet? You didn't wear one.
Yeah, I'm also wearing the hair mount that you mentioned earlier.
The hair mount.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if you were able to take it off and there's
that's called a toupee.
That is called a toupee. Well, welcome to the show. Pionauts is an interesting project, and we had some conversations with you beforehand to evaluate. For those who don't know, the inbox, the DMs, they are full. I am so far behind on looking at projects because we get clobbered. Everybody wants to be on the show, and we can't have everybody on the show, so we take our time to look at projects, and sometimes we'll get on the phone beforehand to examine, and what we saw here was really interesting. So go ahead and tell us, while we pull this up on the screen, what are the Pionauts?
Yeah, sure thing. So Pionauts is an NFT collection which is full of 8,500 pieces, and it's a first 3D animated collection which brings historical figures back to the present and to the future as well. And we need the help with designers, with a team of designers, and with artificial intelligence engine, we're able to reconstruct the faces and the famous historical figures. From sculptures, from paintings, and just all kinds of imagery from the past. And the similarity are just astonishing. I mean, that's something that is very detailed, which is, help with the scanning of the AI engine, and then, retouching it with designers.
Check out this toy here, Trav. I'm like playing Socrates, before, after, before.
Socrates, he kind of looks like the world's most interesting man, the guy who drinks the Dos Equis. I think Socrates drinks Dos Equis.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah,
So this is fascinating. Like, you're able to take a photo, a picture, a painting, or a statue of some sort that's old and antiquated, and you're able to bring it back to life. Like, that technology in itself is spectacular.
Yeah, it is very spectacular. There's a lot of hours put into the work in itself, as in, having that, especially when it comes to statues, because you don't really have the full, the whole spectrum of the face, how the face looks entirely. And it's just that in itself. Some of them we already created as a 3D avatar. So we did like a demo of Benjamin Franklin, who is, could be potentially in the future as well, speak and tell you about his stories and all that. Right now we're partnering with Interverse, which is a NFT company which is kind of giving speeches to avatars into the metaverse. So imagine if Einstein, for example, because we have Einstein as Pionaut, explaining about the theory of relativity. And that's something that I think in itself as an NFT project could bring a lot of presence and a lot of educational content as well.
Look at this. So it says here, with the help of motion capture, we were able to animate all of our Pionauts in their facial movements. So like, he's alive here in this helmet. He's blinking, and he's a little glitchy. Is this an earlier version of it? Because he's kind of looks like he got a glitch in the Matrix there.
Yeah, I think it's because the visuals, how the blinking is happening was recorded with an actual 3D animation studio, so we can match it to every pioneer there. So the motion on its own is just one, so that's kind of like, as you said, prototype earliest. But the idea would be to have like more motions, which then could be with the help of Unreal Engine embody itself as a real presence.
So my question is this: is that these are very cool on their own, right? Like here's Empress Josephine. She looks really cool.
Yeah.
You know, we got Shakespeare and Aristotle and all these guys. Like, why do they need a helmet on? Is it hard for them to breathe in this 3D atmosphere?
Yeah, so that brings us to the other aspect of the project in its own, as it in there is a whole storytelling behind it, which those pioneers, those Pionauts are going into space. So we are working with the storytellers, and we're collaborating with Terraform Studios, which is a Hollywood studio, creating environments for our pioneers. And part of how the community itself is also developing is that we are doing like collaborative storytelling with the community of the pioneers. So that being said, there's every 2 times a week uh, we post small snippets of the story that our storytelling is creating, what happens with how the pioneers are created. So it's kind of like a sci-fi Star Wars type of storyline behind.
It's a mashup. We're watching here the video of this is Benjamin Franklin here, the
Exactly.
making of.
Yeah.
Very extensive and
Mm-hmm.
complex process here. I mean, this is
Yeah.
some high tech and a lot of different steps that are taking place here in order to make
Yeah.
Ben. And how many different characters are there in the series?
So far we have only Ben, as in he's just kind of like a prototype that we can show how it would look, and we also have him, as a real 3D avatar. But we have like multiple, the pioneers are 150, so the original, so to
150 of
speak.
them.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Across
So
the spectrum of time and
exactly,
discipline, right?
yeah. So you have Aristotle, we have Benjamin Franklin, we have Nelson Mandela, we have Jane Austen. So it's all about pioneers inspiring people from, as you mentioned, different spectrums, writers, artists, political figures, and so far.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So, what are the utilities for the NFTs? So they're really cool. They look awesome. They're doing some interesting stuff. So, what are the NFTs going to unlock? Do they have some experiences that the token holders are going to be able to benefit from?
Yeah, so one of the key benefits will be, as it in this universe is expanding, and we are planning to do, digital comic books. We want to have this educational content that I mentioned into the metaverse. We're exploring those options. You know, how that could go on, depending on how the partnerships are evolved. Right now, we're in a conversation with Interverse. We are actually going to partner with them, so our avatars can actually give voices. So that being said, some of the NFT holders will be able to actually, not all of them for now, will be able to have a avatar who's actually speaking into the metaverse, and we're hoping that further on the line to be able to do that in with all of the avatars to some extent at least. We are also planning to do, as I mentioned, education and movie. As the storytelling is going to be, transformed in transmedia storytelling in comic book and film. So part of the funds in the future, they will be distributed to the NFT holders, percentage of it.
It's so rich and it comes built in with so much story because of the characters. These aren't apes or dogs or monkeys or whatever that you're pulling out of thin air. You've got
Yeah.
150 personalities that are historical that you've got their stories to pull from. So how and when does somebody create and mint their Pionaut?
That's
Pionaut.
Pionauts, yeah.
Pionaut.
The different ways to say it. So we are having the collection is going to be distributed in 3 batches, and the first batch is going to be 1,500 pieces, and the minting is actually happening next week. On the 26th of April is the whitelist, and then on the 28th we have the general sale. So
Nice.
the first batch is in a couple of days, and we are still giving up a couple of whitelist spots. So it's not too late to get on the whitelist yet. And we are hosting also an MA tomorrow at our Twitter, so that's also a good chance to get to meet the team.
I want to
Nice.
timestamp this because we pre-record these shows. It is the 21st of April when we're recording this. I'm not exactly sure when the episode will come out.
Okay.
I need to talk to producer Aaron about that. But so the actual date, the pre-launch I see here is April 26th. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the public launch April 28th. Okay, well then you
Yeah.
guys who are listening, you've definitely hearing this before, and it's not too late to get in the Discord and get whitelisted. These are badass.
Definitely.
These are badass. I'm excited about them. I think they're really cool. The artwork is phenomenal. How many of each one of the characters are there going to be? Because you mentioned there's 150 different, historical figures here, and you mentioned how many there are. You might have answered this. I maybe didn't hear it. But how many of each one of these characters are they going to be? Each one's going to be a one of one, and they're all a little bit different. Like how are these?
Yeah.
How are you setting these up?
So there are 115 total originals, and they're the variants of the original. So you have, for example, younger, angrier, so the emotions change, the ages change. You can, for example, have a younger Shakespeare who is happy. So we are to each original NFT, Pionaut,
Okay.
we have around 10 to 12, around 12 to 15. Variations to it, so it kind of
I want
creates a small
old,
clips.
angry Socrates, like get off my lawn, Socrates.
Yeah.
I want a Marie Antoinette without a head. Is that possible? Can I get?
It's just a head and a helmet floating
Right,
around.
or a
Without a head.
Shakespeare. I want a Shakespeare in love. I feel like this guy right here would be the Shakespeare in love. And what's the mint price on these then, Violetta?
So the mint price is going to be 0.19 ETH.
Okay.
And
Is that the pre-launch or public or both?
that's the public, and the pre-launch is going to be 0.15.
Okay. That's great. And as far as, I can tell, for what you've put into this, I mean, there is a lot behind this. This is not a simple, PFP project where,
No.
an artist, whether talented or not, has created, variations. This is using a lot of technology that nobody's used for NFTs before. So pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, really exciting indeed.
Any further questions, Sir Lord Travis, Apostle of Humility?
I do not. I just want to snag a couple of these things. There's is there a list anywhere of all of the 150 characters? Because I know on your website there's a few of them, but I don't see the whole entire list.
Yeah, we have released some of them, but the rest are gonna be, a surprise.
Okay. How many ears does Van Gogh have? Does he have only one?
That's a good question. I think he has actually 2 years.
Okay, well, that's actually incorrect. Well, I guess it depends. Young Van Gogh could have 2
Exactly.
ears. Old Van
Yeah.
Gogh should only have one.
Yeah.
That's
You
so
should make an
Machiavellian.
NFT just of Van Gogh's ear, just because
That-
you can. Have it
Yeah,
floating
we are
through
planning to
space.
have exactly. We are planning to have like different variations on the next batches as well. So it's gonna be, the story of the NFTs and the launches itself is gonna evolve also visually.
There's Beethoven. He's currently decomposing. Napoleon, Marco Polo, Edison,
That was a
Descartes.
supreme dad joke right there, brother man.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That was
I'm here
really
for
good.
it. Violetta, thanks so much for coming on today. The website, Pionauts.com. Join the Discord. Get in here. Check this out. We are bullish on Pionauts. Not financial advice, but opinions of what we're thinking about these. Thanks for coming on today and sharing with us.
Thank you so much for having me, and enjoy your day.
Sir Lord Travis, I'm ready. My wallet is on the ready, and can't wait to mint some of these. And you guys write us and let us know if you're minting any as well at theniftyshow@gmail.com. Sir Lord Travis, get us out of here.
Yeah, let's go. Where are we going?
There's a way we end the show, don't
We're
you
gonna
know?
go somewhere. We gonna
Well,
go.
we're going to go. Yeah, just don't say
Okay.
stay bad.
You know what? How about just keep it nifty?
Looking into the future, what do we see? It's lined with digital collectibles, we call them NFTs. Games, trading cards, digital art, and those crypto kitties. Joel and Zach are the hosts, you'll know. Joel and Zach say this will blow. They're locked and loaded, so ready, set, go. It's the nifty, really kind of spiffy. The Nifty Show.